Let's see. My last analysis of Hell of a Boss was 4 months ago? Geez, time really does fly by, doesn't it? And I'd say that we've definitely come a long way since then. With the full moon and apology tour coming out a few months ago, and completely debunking the predictions I made in my last analysis video. Even in the recent Hell of a Boss short, we may have gotten some new info and spoilers about the plot for the upcoming episode.
But once you have me, you realize you could never go through with it because I'm the only woman who could ever make you feel something after the loss of your wife!
Nah, seriously, let her cook for a minute. Not about the whole self-insert thing, but Emberlyn might be onto something. We will come back to this later in the video, but if this confirms what I think it confirms, I might just have the whole plot figured out, at least to some extent. With October fast approaching, the episode Ghostf is just right around the corner, and I couldn't be more excited for it. But before it comes out, I'd like to try my hand at another prediction for how the story will go. Today, I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on how Season 2, Episode 10 will go down. And hopefully, I get a few things right this time. The episode starts out at the IMP building, where his employees notice that Blitz is just completely out of it. And with what happened after the events of the Blitz gets blamed for everything while Stolitz is totally victimized episode, who can blame him? I mean, Blitz went through a lot in that episode, just completely one-sided and unfair to Blitz at every turn. Please excuse me while I go on a tangent for a few minutes. Apology Tour was so infuriating, and I hate how much they seemingly antagonize Blitz here. I mean, really look at this shit, bro. Blitz trying to talk to and kind of seduce Stolitz like he used to do to him, and Stolitz showing off just how much of a hypocrite he is. I know Blitz isn't all innocent in this scenario, but Stolitz, how are you going to stand there and say you're uncomfortable about Blitz being sexually aggressive when that's all you've been since Season 1? How are you going to stand there and say you've never looked down on him when you have been constantly demeaning him, calling him your impish little playmate, and calling it cute when he tries to set boundaries between you two? No, I am not going to let that go. And no, I am never going to forget that he has done such shitty things to Blitz. This is the moment where Blitz should have realized that this relationship was a lost cause and left. When Stolitz starts to play the victim and lie about mistreating him, that's when he should have left. In fact, he should have left when Stolitz doesn't even give a chance for Blitz to think or even talk to Blitz, when he tries to stand his ground and confront these problems head-on. Stolitz just whines about Blitz not accepting his feelings right away and kicks him out without a second thought. I swear Full Moon pissed me off, for real. Oh, but that's not all. It gets worse. It gets so much worse. Blitz apologizing to all the people he's hurt in the past. While of course he doesn't really mean it, at least he's making an effort and owning up to his actions instead of being like some people and playing the victim, as well as making the ex-partner out to be the bad guy. In case you didn't know, I'm talking about Stolitz. I hate this bird bitch with a passion. And even after all that, with Blitz finally working up the courage to apologize to Stolitz, he is still a petty piece of shit. He still refuses to listen. He goes to a hate party centered around Blitz to be petty. Not only that, he goes to dance with some rando who flirts with him while he and Blitz are having a conversation. Not only that, he kisses that same demon while Blitz is right there. Oh, but Blitz isn't allowed to get angry or upset and has to just deal with it. That's just bullshit. Don't even get me started on how Veronica was this episode because she was the worst. First of all, she is just as petty, if not more, than Stolitz. She throws a whole hate party about her ex every year under the guise of helping others through their struggles, which I wouldn't be upset about if it was true, but it isn't. She actively encourages Stolitz to be petty and further antagonizes Blitz. If she really wanted to help these demons who were struggling with their pain move on and live healthier lives, she wouldn't do shit like this. She is actively contributing towards unhealthy behavior, helping these demons stew in their hatred for Blitz, unable to let go of their heartbreak. This is not okay. And the song at the end of the episode is just a complete and utter lie. Just listen.
Sometimes it still hurts a bit. Sometimes I'm so full of shit, but this much is true.
That's Capverosica, and you know it. If you were really over Blitz, then why do any of this? Why throw this, as Blitz correctly put it, stupid fucking party? Breakups happen, and I understand what he did to you and multiple demons was bad. But you can either move on or let it consume your life forever. And Blitz doesn't owe any of you commitment. And again, he is correct that you're all just salty that he wouldn't commit to you, because he has a right to say no. And I know it hurts, but that's how life works. If you really are that hurt, find someone who will commit to you and love you unconditionally. Find a more healthy relationship instead of focusing on an unhealthy one that's just going to eat you up inside. But I'm glad that she's starting to see that Blitz is actually making an effort to fix himself and begins respecting him more. Hopefully there won't be any more Blitz hate parties in the future. Seriously, I hate that this was even a thing. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Sorry, I just really hate this episode. Anyways, back to Ghostfuckers. Suddenly from outside, a demon calls Blitz's name, saying that he, as well as multiple demons, have the IMP building surrounded.
Come out! We've got you surrounded!
My initial theory was that these cloaked demons were humans that IMP killed and now are taking revenge. Though now I figure that's not the case. With the red lightning going on in the background of this scene, I believe that these demons work for Satan. And the reason that they are coming to collect Blitz, and possibly his staff as well, is for the trial, and because of Blitz's use of the grimoire. The group questions Blitz, mostly Moxie, who's probably like,
Blitz, what the fuck did you do this time?
I don't fucking know, Mox. Why are you pointing fingers at me for?
Because it's always your fault, Blitz.
Blitz and Moxie banter back and forth and the cloaked demons outside begin to get impatient, one of them checking his watch.
So, are we just gonna stand here because it looks like they're not coming out anytime soon?
Lord Satan said to get them to court by any means necessary. Time to use brute force.
Blah, 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 blah.
Guys, shut the fuck up! Do you see that?
Kinda looks like they're shooting something at us.
That's because they are! Fucking duck!
Indeed, a huge weapon of some sort comes hurtling towards the main four. Luckily, they quickly dodge it and make their getaway, rushing out to the company van. The four clamor inside as Blitz quickly starts the engine and adjusts his mirror. Moxie asks where they're going, and Blitz says that they're going anywhere but here, and have to prepare for a life on the run. However, when Blitz begins to drive off,
I fucking hate you so much, Blitz.
so now their van is completely fucked, and they have to think of another escape plan. In a last-ditch effort, the four are forced to retreat to the human world, where I think either one of these two scenarios happens. I've noticed in a few scenes of Ghostfuckers, Blitz doesn't have the crystal with him, so here's what I think happens. The four successfully teleport to the human world with the broken van somehow, and the crystal accidentally flies off in the process, into a nearby hotel. Or, only Blitz and Millie are able to escape to the human world, with Moxie and Luna pushing them out to safety with the van through the portal. Luna and Moxie get captured and brought to the trial in hell. Meanwhile, Blitz and Millie crash nearby a hotel and the crystal somehow flies off, going missing in the hotel. Bear with me here because how else can I explain the van being there behind Millie and Blitz, or how the crystal is suddenly not with Blitz? Stay with me because I might have an idea. I'm gonna roll with the latter here and say that Luna and Moxie might have been taken to the court, so that just leaves Blitz and Millie. Blitz notices that he doesn't have the crystal on him and sees the hotel near them, thinking that it somehow went in there. The two hatch a plan to get the crystal back, though that's when they noticed a sign on the door. It read, "Paranormal disturbance, ghost hunter needed." That's when Blitz hatches a genius idea and rushes towards the totaled van, asking Millie to follow. Blitz attempts to fix up the van and spray paints a new logo on it reading Ghostfuckers. Millie, confused, asks Blitz what he's doing. He proudly proclaims that the two are going to become ghost hunters. Seemingly on cue, the van falls apart again. Millie inquires further about Blitz's plan, being skeptical about it. Blitz tells Millie that they're going to pretend to be ghost hunters and search around the hotel for the crystal. After that, they go home and save Moxie and Luna from whatever danger they might be facing. He takes the role of Bethany Ghostfucker, a character he makes up to sell the act, encouraging Millie to play along as his helper and staff member. Millie is exasperated, knowing that this idea is very stupid, but also knowing that they have no other choice. So she decides to play along for now. They meet Ronaldo, the owner of the hotel, who accepts their help.
You can count on us, sir. We'll take care of your little ghost problem.
I still can't believe you talked me into this. Is this how Moxie feels? Poor Moxie. I hope he's all right.
Though something about him seems a bit off. Blitz and Millie don't seem to notice, however, and go searching around for the crystal. They travel to multiple rooms, looking around for any sign of it, with Blitz getting really in character, terrorizing an elderly couple.
Look alive, you undead cocksleeve! Prepare to get sucked off to the astral plane, bitch!
Damn it, Blitz, they aren't ghosts, these are just shriveled humans. No offense.
You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that Millie just hates old people. Not just old people, but old humans specifically. I mean, with the way she mocked Lyle Lipton in the Cherubs episode and now here, you can't blame me for coming to that conclusion. Anyways, back to it. As Blitz and Millie continue looking around for the crystal, it's made even more clear now that something is definitely off without them realizing it, and that this hotel may not be what it seems. Meanwhile, at the trial, which I'm assuming happens like every few days of the year so that Goetius and other demon royalty can sort out their differences, Moxie and Luna have been taken there against their will. The cloaked figures arrive and toss them in front of the court, telling Satan that they were only able to collect these two, and that Blitz and one of his other employees disappeared. Satan, who I'm assuming takes charge in the court, is annoyed, saying that he needs both Blitzo and Stolitz present for this trial. Y.L.C, who is most likely to present his case to the court about Stolitz's affair in the grimoire, says that they should just continue and forget about that worthless imp. Being more focused on getting Stolitz fired so he can take over as a prince through his sister, Stella. A new character, Vasigo chimes in, who's probably Stolitz's friend and will advocate for him. He asks, where even is Stolitz, and why isn't he at this trial that's all about him in the first place? Y.L.C tries to play it off like it's not a big deal, but Vasigo insists that they summon Stolitz for he has a right to know, and that it's important that he's at the trial too.
Y.L.C is annoyed but ultimately agrees to call Stolitz.
Where is Stolitz anyway? We need to summon him at once.
Okay, Vasigo.
Stolitz probably knows he's being summoned and doesn't want to go, or he probably forgot, but I don't think it's likely that he would. So they call Stolitz and he's on his way. Meanwhile, Mammon wants to get back at Ozzy in the court for quote-unquote stealing Fizzaroli away from him, while also blaming Ozzy for damage to his theater that's he caused. Because he's just petty like that. Guys, we all know this man fucking petty. Satan says they'll get to Mammon's issues after they deal with Stolitz and Blitz, but Mammon probably bitches and moans, saying how unfair it is. Ultimately, he does let it go for now. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, things are getting more unsettling, specifically for Blitz. He begins seeing creepy illusions of his family, his exes, and even his employees, torturing him and traumatizing him. He becomes disoriented, slowly beginning to break down. Millie notices Blitz's concerning mental state, but whenever she confronts him about it, he brushes her off or pushes her away, telling her to just focus on finding the crystal so they could go home. Suddenly he stops, feeling around on his neck, but it's bare. The necklace his mom gave him before she died was missing. This can't be happening. Not right now. Millie tries to console Blitz, asking him where he last had it on him, though he begins rambling about seeing images of all of the people he's hurt or is eventually going to hurt in the future. He begins to cry, saying that all he does is destroy everything and makes everyone's lives worse. Millie attempts to comfort her boss, reassuring him that they'll find his necklace and whoever took it, then they'll tear them to shreds. She extends a hand to Blitz, but he gets up on his own and sadly walks off with his head hung low, saying that they should just find the crystal and his necklace and get the fuck out of this place. As they start searching again, suddenly the light fixtures on the ceiling begin to shatter and the lights go out as a shadowy figure appears before them.
Millie shields Blitz, demanding to know what's going on. That's when Ronaldo's face pops up from the shadows, though it's revealed that he's actually a fish demon of some kind, probably even a wraith. He taunts them, saying that the two are out of their depth.
A bit out of your depth, aren't you, little one?
Millie attacks Ronaldo, but he disappears before she can land a strike. Millie concludes that he probably has the crystal, as well as his necklace, and they should go after him. Blitz agrees, and they attempt to find him. But Ronaldo isn't done torturing Blitz, and has one last illusion to get him to finally break. An illusion of his mother appears, making Blitz cry and run into her arms. He apologizes for losing her necklace and that he's let her down. The imposter mother scolds Blitz for letting her down and turns monstrous, chasing Blitz through the hotel and down to the natatorium. That means indoor pool. Millie sees Blitz is in trouble and rushes to save him. Cornered up against the edge of the pool, Blitz has nowhere to run. The image of Blitz's mom shifts into Ronaldo, who has his ghostly appearance out on display. Finally, having enough of the torture, the mind games, and all the hurt he had to suffer through, he finally asks Ronaldo why he's doing all this. What he wants. Ronaldo chuckles darkly, looking right through Blitz.
I know a lot about you, Blitz. Or should I say, Blitzo. I know about your family who abandoned you after you ruined their lives. I know about your employees who suffer constantly because of your actions. I know about the hearts you've broken in the past, the lives you affected. I even know about your little arrangement with that prince. You certainly have a lot of enemies, so it's only natural they'd want you to suffer for what you've done to them. And boy, one of them really wanted you to suffer. They paid good money for me to draw you in, torture you with all these illusions. But that's not all they paid me for. Oh no, the fun has just begun.
Who? Who sent you after me? Tell me, goddammit!
Well, now that doesn't really matter, does it? And I can't keep stalling any longer. Not when you're so perfectly vulnerable. Now brace yourself. It's easier if you don't fight this.
Blitz! Get the fuck away from him, you creep!
Millie!
Oh, this is perfect. Your friend here came just in time to be killed.
Don't you dare think about killing her. She has a husband, and he's useless without her.
Oh, you fool. I'm not going to kill her. You are.
What? Millie, get out of here, quick!
Blitz!
Before he can say another word, Ronaldo grabs Blitz by the neck. He struggles against his hold, but it's no use, and Ronaldo pulls him into the pool. Millie screams and rushes over, looking around in the water for any sign of Blitz. Though when he emerges, he has been completely possessed by Ronaldo and begins attacking Millie. Millie tries to get through to Blitz, but it's no use, and she has to fight him. Back at the court, Stolitz has arrived and Andrialphus pleads his case. About that, Stolitz was not only sleeping with Blitz, but allowed him to use the grimoire to traverse the living world illegally and kill humans on Earth. Things are not looking good so far, with Satan going so far as to call him a disgrace. Though Stolitz defends himself by saying that he is no longer allowing Blitz to use the book and instead gifted him an Asmodean crystal so he could do his business legally. Mammon, sensing an opportunity to throw Asmodeus under the bus, absolutely fucking took it. He restates that Asmodeus is in cahoots with Stolitz to allow basically a criminal to traverse the living world with a crystal meant for succubi and incubi. He then makes some good points on top of that, like saying that Blitz could risk exposing hell to the mortals, and that would cause chaos. Satan takes that into account and looks to punish Stolitz for his actions, and even penalizes Asmodeus to an extent, also calling him out for sleeping with an imp as well. Knowing that he just got the one-up on his rival, Mammon can't resist giving to middle finger to Ozzy, who is fucking pissed at him. A decision was made to revoke Stolitz's status as a prince, quite possibly even a death penalty. Though as the court debates and decides which punishment is most suitable, Stolitz wonders where Blitz could be at this time, as well as Luna and Moxie. Back at the hotel, Millie is still defending herself against possessed Blitz and begins winning. Ronaldo panics and searches Blitz's memories for a way to beat her. Meanwhile, Blitz is stuck inside his own mind, forced to relive all the trauma that he went through in his life. Then suddenly, he begins to relive a memory of when he first met Millie. Now, we don't know the specifics about their backstory yet, but we do know that there was a fight. And Ronaldo uses this memory to attempt to get the one-up on Millie. The scenes of Millie and Blitz's fight then and now probably cut back and forth between each other with a bunch of similarities. Millie is able to get the one-up on Blitz like she did back then and begins talking to him, saying how much their meeting had meant to them, and that she didn't feel like her potential was truly reaching until she met him, and that her life is better because of him. Blitz remembers this as the memory continues to play out. He complimented her skilled fighting, saying that he could use it for his assassin business. Millie was unsure at first and joined reluctantly, though once she did, she felt like she finally found her calling, her passion, and the love she shared with Moxie that she didn't know she needed. Blitz starts to think positively, but Ronaldo tries to keep him vulnerable, making him relive his bad memories again. But Millie keeps talking. It wasn't just her that Blitz had helped. He's impacted others' lives in good ways as well. Moxie, Luna, and even Stolitz. He isn't perfect by any means, but he's still their boss, their friend, and they wouldn't have it any other way. And though he may have done bad things in the past, it's never too late to fix things. Blitz begins to battle the bad memories with the good ones, reconnecting with Fizz and Veronica, helping his employees, adopting Luna, and all the times he made Stolitz happy. With this, Blitz finds the strength to break free of Ronaldo's hold on him. Ronaldo is ejected from Blitz's body, and before he could react, he gets stabbed repeatedly by Millie. Millie asks Blitz how he's doing, and he says he's never felt better, even giving her some credit. He grabs the crystal in his necklace from Ronaldo, and they both head home to save Moxie and Luna. They head back through the portal where the hooded figures have left a clue of some kind on how to find them. Blitz puts his foot on the gas and drives the messed-up van to their location. They end up at a courthouse in the Pride Ring and make their way inside. The two reunite with Moxie and Luna, but it's cut short when Satan calls Blitz to the stand for his judgment. Blitz steps forward and faces Satan. Yep, and here's where Emberlyn's little story comes in. From what we've seen her type on the computer with her self-insert being defended by Blitz against Satan's wrath, it's most likely going to happen here. And it will ultimately be Blitz's big display of affection to show and prove that he does care about Stolitz. He probably defends Stolitz's actions in the court and defends himself, finally confessing his love for him, pushing away all his doubts. And I bet the episode will end on a cliffhanger ending on that note. Though Satan will end up deciding to just take away his status as a prince and fire him, getting off with a light sentence. And that's all I've got for this theory video. Thanks for watching all the way through, and let me know in the comments what you think will happen in Ghostfuckers, or if there's something you'd like to add to this little prediction. Alright, see you guys. More ex-listener content will be coming soon.